Good morning, traders. So I've been looking at Euro USD for a while. We've been waiting for the retracement of this bullish trend. Now we have finally reached that discount pricing and we are in this first demand zone. You see we have a very nice reaction so far to this demand. We had this nice drop into the zone and now we're sort of pushing out given that rejection. Now of course we have this zone down here. There's even a more refined one. So it is still very likely that price can continue dropping down further, but we can just be mechanical and start looking for entries from this demand already if we have lower time frame confirmation. So let me share what that looks like. So we can see that on the 15-minute we've already shifted bullish. What I currently like to see is a reaction to this demand zone. So I basically want price to start coming down and then pretty much fail this demand and just grab liquidity below it. And then we have a demand over here, which you could see these wicks are sort of like equal low liquidity as well. And then we have this demand over here and I guess so this one as well. So we have plenty of demand zones lower. So this first one is just liquidity in my opinion. Ideally what we could also see as well is like when price creates that liquidity grab, it can also come create that break over here and create a fresh demand zone. And those are my favorite kind of entries because all of these are perfectly valid, but when you have a fresh demand zone, it's a lot stronger. So waiting for that kind of scenario on Euro USD and for hour. On GU, it's sort of the same. It's actually lining up pretty nicely. We're in the extreme demand zone on GU. Obviously, again, bullish trend. We had discount pricing and we've come into this extreme demand zone. So if I look on the 15-minute, you can already see we had this demand zone fail. If you are in the Discord or you've checked my Instagram, I've mentioned that I was expecting this zone to fail. Even though it gave that initial reaction, it's kind of a lure and it did very impulsively fail to hold that zone. We can see because price is still in this 4-hour demand, we can still, even though this first reaction failed, we can still keep looking for longs as long as this 4-hour demand respects. So you can see the 15-minute has shifted bullish again. And just like EU, we have a demand zone that has formed over here. So once again, I'd like to see a liquidation of that. And there's not really any nice demand zones lower here. So just like on EU, we could see that liquidity grab, a break, minor break, and then a fresh demand for entries. So that's my outlook, mainly focusing on EU and GU, but we could quickly look at some other pairs. AU, I don't want to see that liquidity grab above, but price has just shifted. We had that minor break and it's continuing down lower. So potentially could start looking at this supply and still look for shorts until we reach that discount pricing on AU. But again, it's not the pair that I would prefer to trade at the moment since we swept the highs and now we've broken down lower and continuing down. It's just a bit weird to have that initial push down which failed to react to anything really. Now it didn't go into discount, kind of reacted to this demand zone even though it's not the strongest demand, and it's pushed up. It also failed to break up higher, so it just seems like it's grabbing liquidity everywhere. So I'd rather observe that pair than trade it. If you watch my previous video, you'll know that I was waiting for a liquidity grab of these lows, so price did come down lower, and yeah, just going to wait for price to come into this extreme demand zone. So of course this supply trade is no longer valid, or it's not strong anymore since price is in discount pricing. So we kind of want to look for longs, since the overall trend is bullish. So we want to see a reaction into this demand zone, and then we want to look for that break, head down into demand. This is where we would drop down to the lower time frame and look for an entry for that bullish continuation. So those are the things that I'm looking at today, and yeah, let me know if you are looking at the same, and I'll see you in the next video.